This whole thing that Oprah is showing people going no contact with their parents, I feel like a lot of people are confused. Why would this happen? It's not really a trend. It's not really a trend. I can tell you exactly what it is, actually. A generation of millennials just watched one of the richest women on the planet, Britney Spears, have everything stolen from her by her family, who hates her, by the way. We watched the greatest theft in human fucking history, in American history. In American history. And guess who did it? Her own father and mother. Her own father and mother stole everything from her. Are you surprised that people see that and go, wow, toxic family members can fuck your life up for good and take your freedom and take your sanity because they drugged her and sterilized her, put her on birth control against her will, had her declared mentally ill, had her enslaved working, even though she was too mentally ill to handle her own assets. They had her working against her will. So not mentally ill enough that she couldn't be working against her will. They enslaved this woman in front of all of us, and you still expect people to give their parents a chance. That's suicide. Like, we saw the richest, she's a billionaire. Think about it. Think about it. Let me just stand here for a minute. Think about it. A billionaire pop star had everything taken from her because her parents had her declared insane. The closest relatives you have can fuck up your whole life. It is in your best interest, in your best survival interest, to cut your family off when they are like this. I went no contact with my mother and my father, and I don't regret it. I felt like they were so awful. I felt a sense of fucking relief when they died, and that is incredibly sad, but it is not my fault. It's not my problem. I didn't do anything to them. But I'm telling you now, regular people saw how Britney Spears was treated. They saw how the laws are used by bad parents to destroy your fucking life. To destroy your life. And not only that, she was a child worker. You know, she was a child, that's child pop stars, kid pop stars, like Mickey Mouse House, Nickelodeon kids, all this stuff. That's child labor. Those are children working. So she was on the child labor force. This woman has been working since she was a kid. And so we're sitting here as millennials, as Gen Z, as, you know, Gen A, whatever, Alpha. And we see this and we go, that is a very bad thing. That is a desperately horrifying thing. And if it can happen to a billionaire pop star woman while everybody is fucking watching, not even secretly, while everyone is watching, then it can happen to us. Regular, normal people. We can have our shit stolen from us. This is basically just, she's a witch, now give her land and her assets to the next of kin. She's insane, now give her land and her assets to the next of kin. Okay? If you don't cut off your toxic family members, they will fuck up and destroy your entire fucking life. It's true. It's true. This is the truth. And I think that that is lost on the Oprah show because, frankly, people like Oprah benefit from the system of slavery which is put in place in Hollywood. And yes, I do consider child pop stars to be slaves. You're a baby. You're a child. You can't consent to work. You can't consent to sex. You can't consent to drink. You can't consent to child labor. You're a fucking child. So personally, I believe that is a form of slavery that is acceptable, and people don't call it that, but that is what it is. If you cannot consent to anything, if you don't have the right to say no to a day's worth of labor, what does that mean? That means you've been enslaved. Okay? So we watched Britney Spears work from the time she was a child, and now we're watching her go crazy because they even stole her sanity. They gave her drugs that made her go insane to control her better. And you're surprised that people are cutting family off. They would be suicidal to keep those family members around. You are suicidal if you keep your parents around. Unless they're giving you something, anything, you know, you got to go low contact, no contact with them. Unless your parents are giving you money and assets, it is not worth it to keep them around. You will get hurt. More than that, your life will be derailed forever. If it can happen to a billionaire woman, a billionaire pop star, it can absolutely happen to you. And there are not enough people with the hubris of Oprah Winfrey. Most people have to accept that I have to plan strategically. I have to be careful. Everything can be derailed by one traitor in my midst. If it can happen to a billionaire, it can absolutely happen to regular people. So do not feel guilty about cutting off your family member. They never should have forced you to do that. Think of it like that. My mom never should have forced me to cut her off. My dad never should have forced me to cut him off. Why did they choose to be bad people? That's how you need to think about it. And the guilt will fade with time because it's really them. It's their shame and their guilt. And it's the situation you're mourning. You know, the situation that could have been. But yeah, don't trust these people. I'm telling you. That's why Oprah Winfrey's so confused. She is insulated from a lot of consequences in life. But if she would think for a second, even she would see the danger posed by picking the wrong spouse who can have you declared insane and have your assets stolen from you. If Oprah were to be honest, she would be like, yeah, you know what? What happened to Britney can happen to anybody in the country. Anybody in the country. To trust no one is to trust everyone equally. Don't forget that. They might have created you, but that does not make them good parents.